FCC investigates Comcast's relationships with local TV affiliates. The FCC just launched a bombshell investigation that could reshape America's media landscape. And Comcast is at the center of the storm. In a dramatic move, Federal Communications Commission Chair Brendan Carr has initiated a formal probe into Comcast's dealings with local TV affiliates, accusing the NBC parent company of strong-arming stations with unreasonable financial and operational demands. But here's where it gets controversial. This isn't just about contract disputes. The FCC claims these corporate pressures might prevent local broadcasters from serving their communities effectively, a charge that strikes at the heart of media responsibility in the digital age. New details reveal Carr sent a sharply worded letter to Comcast CEO Brian Roberts, obtained exclusively by Reuters, demanding answers about NBC's affiliate relationships. While Comcast responded with its standard, "We support local broadcasters" talking points, the FCC isn't buying it. "We're committed to ensuring corporate giants don't trample broadcasters' duty to serve the public interest," Carr's letter states, a clear warning shot across Comcast's bow. Here's what most people miss. This investigation is part of a sweeping pattern. Just 7 months earlier, Carr targeted Disney's ABC in nearly identical fashion, questioning its affiliate negotiations. Even more telling, the FCC recently greenlit Paramount's $8.4 billion merger with Skydance Media, but only after forcing them to scrap diversity initiatives and install a content watchdog. Now they're training their sights on Comcast's DEI programs too, following earlier probes into T-Mobile and Verizon's diversity efforts. The political subplot thickens. President Trump and Carr have openly vowed to restructure U.S. media. Critics argue these actions blur the line between regulatory oversight and political theater. When you combine the timing, the targets, and the merger conditions, says media analyst Lauren Thompson, it starts looking less like policy and more like a purge. Comcast insists it will cooperate fully, but the stakes couldn't be higher. With the FCC scrutinizing everything from contract terms to diversity initiatives, this probe could set precedent for how media giants operate nationwide. Yet one burning question remains. Is this truly about protecting local journalism, or is it a calculated power play in an election year? The answer might determine whether your local news station survives or becomes another corporate casualty. Now we want to hear from you. Does the FCC have a legitimate case against Comcast, or is this regulatory overreach? Should media companies face restrictions on how they manage affiliate relationships? Sound off below. Your perspective could shape this critical debate about media, money, and who controls the airwaves. FCC Chairman's inquiry. NBCU's treatment of local affiliates under scrutiny. Have you ever wondered about the power dynamics between big media companies and your local news stations? Well, here's where it gets controversial. The chairman of the Federal Communications Commission, FCC, has just launched an official investigation into Comcast's NBC Universal and its treatment of local broadcast affiliates. This move by Brendan Carr, the FCC chair, is a bold step to ensure that local TV stations can maintain their independence and serve their communities without being bullied by corporate interests. In a letter to Comcast CEO Brian Roberts, Carr made it clear that the FCC is deeply concerned about the relationship between NBC Universal and local stations. He expressed that local stations must be able to fulfill their public interest obligations without being coerced into unfavorable deals. Reports suggest that networks like NBC are using their leverage to extract harsh financial and operational concessions from local affiliates, threatening to end long-standing partnerships if their demands aren't met. This could lead to blackouts and other disruptions to local news and content, impacting millions of viewers. But here's the part most people miss. This isn't just about money. It's about the very fabric of local journalism and the trust that viewers place in their local news. As Carr pointed out, viewers are increasingly turning away from national news media and seeking out more reliable sources of information. The inquiry is part of CAR's broader efforts to boost the status of local stations and empower them to meet their public interest obligations. But this inquiry raises some thought-provoking questions. Are networks prioritizing profits over the public good? Is the relationship between networks and local affiliates becoming toxic? And what does this mean for the future of local journalism? Share your thoughts in the comments below. We want to hear from you. This isn't the first time the FCC has taken action against media giants. Earlier this year, letters were sent to Comcast and Disney regarding diversity, equity, and inclusion practices. Meanwhile, other complaints related to network content, such as a recent one against CBS News, remain on the docket. It's clear that the FCC is taking a closer look at the media landscape and the power dynamics at play. As the media landscape continues to evolve, with more programming moving to streaming platforms, the traditional network affiliate relationship is under strain. Local stations argue that they are being asked to subsidize live sports rights, which are increasingly being offered exclusively through subscription-based streaming services. This creates a vicious cycle where local stations struggle to secure valuable sports rights, further eroding their revenue and influence. CAR's letter to Comcast highlights restrictions on local stations' ability to negotiate carriage on streaming platforms and compete for local sports rights, further exacerbating the imbalance between networks and affiliates. This inquiry is just the latest in a series of moves by the FCC to address these issues and ensure a fair and equitable media landscape for all. So what do you think? Is the FCC doing enough to protect local stations, or is more action needed? Let's start a conversation. Your voice matters.